Here we go. Here we rolling with Masterclass 30s and 40s with Tree. And I am so excited because this is finally a generation that I can have some relevance in and I don't feel so dang old. Girl, I've been on this, the first Monday with Madison. She's young and she looks young. So I'm on and my husband's like, did I see you on live with like a teenager? Like she's really young. I'm like, she just looks starkingly young next to me. But yes, she
Oh
looks
my
young. Like
goodness. You look
I was
amazing.
having,
You look amazing. Stop it.
well, I'm excited to be in a relevant generation today. And I wore blue eyeshadow just for the occasion, just to
I
give
love it.
80s
I
baby
love it.
sort of vibe.
I love it.
So yes.
I love it.
Okay, girl. Well, as like I love to hear these stories of where did you start to love skincare and makeup? How did that evolve for you? Like, give me some background and give everybody else some background.
Yeah, so for those who don't know me, my name is Cherie, and I am actually Heather's got a good girlfriend named Connie Miller, and I am actually Connie Miller's little sister, so that's how I know HDK. And I gotta tell you, HDK, before we dive into skincare, I just wanted to give you a shout out because I feel like you are always so ahead of the curve. And I remember the first time that I remember seeing you was at Pam Shaw's Director Day, and y'all were doing a push up competition on stage. That's the first time I saw you,
That is
which I was like, okay, HDK, I see you, Queen. And then you were the first person that I heard about skin cycling from, and that was way before it became something big in Mary Kay. So you've always been ahead of the curve. So those of you who follow, we call her HDK lovingly, HDK. Just know she is always putting the best tips and trends and products in front of you guys, and so just wanted to give you a little bit of affirmation on that because I've followed you for a long time, and so
Oh,
I
thank you. I appreciate
actually
it.
grew up pink. I grew up pink, so me and my sister's mom had a Mary Kay business, and so I grew up loving the Mary Kay products, loving taking care of my skin and makeup. I was an athlete in high school, so that kind of was not my priority in high school. But once I got married, had kids, and started seeing the effects of that on our skin, I really, and I was building my business too. That's really where I started putting a lot of time and energy into skincare. And once I turned 30, I was like, I'm going down fighting. I'm going down fighting. And so I know a lot about skincare. I've done a lot of time research on it. I've seen a lot of TikToks and have taught a lot of women about it. And so now, as a mom of three girls, now I'm teaching my girls about it. And so yeah, it's a big part of our lives for sure, for sure, for
How,
sure.
how old are your girls?
17, 9, and 10.
Wow. And so,
Yeah.
like, what is their interest in skincare and makeup, and how do you see that different from where you were at that age?
Well, my 17-year-old, I kind of have to stay on top of with her, but my younger girls, Jovi and Reese, my 9 and my 10-year-olds, they are like, they're so influenced by social media right now, but there's so many skincare, get ready with me's and all these different videos, and they're starting to make their own. So I feel like my younger girls are really into skincare. I caught them making a video with all of my skincare boosters. Yeah,
That's like
with
liquid
the boosters,
gold.
like we right. I was like, no, we didn't have a conversation about this. So they are they're really excited about, well, they're using botanicals right now, so they're excited about what's coming up with that. And they are my younger girls are in it with the skincare. My older girl, I gotta kind of stay on top of a little bit.
So interesting. I love to hear, like, I wonder, we talked about Gen Z on Monday. What's the generation after that called? Uh,
Millennial?
no,
After,
like, is it going to be A again? Like, is that,
oh, I don't know.
I,
That's a good question. I don't
I
know.
don't, I don't know. But anyway, that younger, I wonder, because you can see the interest that kind of goes in generations. I wonder what these new up and comings, but
They're
maybe
obsessed. They
super
are
into it.
obsessed.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
Awesome.
that just
Awesome.
kind of shows you the power of social media too.
For
But,
sure.
but
For
yeah,
sure.
all the younger girls are obsessed with their skincare, and mine are not an exception to that. It's kind of becoming a problem.
Yep. Yep. That one's going to cost you.
Yeah.
That's gonna cost you. I mean, I don't know how women afford to keep their daughters in business if they're not Mary Kay girls, because
Oh,
it's
I
like,
know. I say that all the time. Like I could never afford not to be a consultant because of my kids
yeah,
and the products that I use. Yeah. So,
for
yeah.
sure, for sure. Okay, well, teach us about the 30s and 40s. You just now entered the lovely decade of your 40s, which are really great. So you're gonna love it. But tell us what kinds of things do we need to start paying attention to?
Yeah, so I think if you're watching this video, you're probably someone who's already on a great skincare system and you're just looking for some ways to kind of tweak it for your age. Let me just speak to those of you if you're watching and you're not on a good skincare system and you're in your 30s and 40s, that is definitely something that you want to get on top of right now and get with your consultant on it. It really depends on what you're looking for out of your skincare set. Your consultant will talk to you about the Miracle set, the Volume Firm set. She'll probably have you scan your face with a skin analyzer app, and you just want to get started on that because the issues that you might be having with your skin, some of it could be fixed if you were just on a great skincare system and if your skin was just getting its basic needs. And that's really where you need to start if you're not already doing that, or if you're using a pitch podge of different products. What happens is that if you're not using a system that's made to go together, your skin cannot get neutralized and you don't have a baseline to work from. So the first thing that you got to do is get on a good skincare system and have a conversation with your consultant about that, and she'll recommend which one is best for you. The next thing I would say is probably where a lot of you guys are watching is you're already on a good skincare system. You're probably using an exfoliator once or twice a week. And if you're not, that's another conversation to have if you want to use a chemical exfoliator or a physical exfoliator. And so have that conversation. I'm going to say when you're in your 30s and 40s, you want to get your skincare routine level if you are really concerned about aging. Get your skincare routine level to where you are skin cycling. And I think that is the best thing that women can be doing because there are so many, especially if you're watching like TikToks and Reels, there's so many, you see glycolic acid and you see vitamin C and you see hyaluronic acid and you see retinol and you see all these different ingredients. And it's important that you know how to use, if you are going to use them, you know how to use them, in what order to use them. So I always tell people, educate yourself on skin cycling. And the way that I incorporate it into my routine, I actually, one of the things I love about Mary Kay is that you can really create your own skincare routine. So I don't use just one line. I use products from the Volume Firm set. I use products from the Miracle set. I use the Naturally oil. And so my routine is I'm pulling from all of these different lines. And I'm sure that you guys have heard of a Hydra session. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that, like what you would call that, but right, like Hydra facial, get with your consultant on it. But I do those every Sunday, and I tell my customers do it on Wednesdays and weekends. And that's basically your exfoliation night. And so that's night one. You do your regular skincare with your exfoliation. I'm doing the microdermabrasion and the glycolic peel on the same night, Wednesdays and weekends, every Wednesday, every weekend, sometimes it's Saturday, sometimes it's Sundays. And then the next night I'm doing retinol. And so I think, and then, so that's night two. And then night 3 and 4, you're recovering. So exfoliation night 1, retinol night 2, recover. And depending on how my skin is doing, sometimes I'll only take one night of recovery and then I'll go right back into the cycle of the exfoliation. It just depends on how my skin is feeling. If it's feeling like I need an extra day of recovery, I'll go ahead and take that. So yeah, step 1, start with get on a good skincare system with your consultant. Step 2, make sure you're adding in your exfoliators twice a week, whether you're going to use the microdermabrasion or the glycolic peel. The next step would be to add retinol to it and then get into your system of skin cycling. And so what do you think about that, HTK? That's what I do.
I love it. You know, one thing I kind of always just thought it was me, but it might not be. I think maybe we're the generation that needs to pull from all the different lines. And I think I don't, I don't talk about skincare to people that know skincare as well as I do most of the time, you know? So like I don't have these conversations, but I'm wondering if there's a 30s and 40s thing with because I use a little bit of botanicals, a little bit of clear proof, a little bit of time wise, a little bit of Voluform. Like I'm all over the map because my skin requires it because it still can be blemish prone. It's still oily. It's aging. Like it's still kind of doing all the things at this point. So I
Right.
love that you said that because I bet that's pretty common.
Yeah, especially for those of us who are educated on skincare, you know what your skin needs, and so yeah, and that's a great thing about Mary Kay is that they're all made by the same scientists. So if you are pulling from different lines, it's all safe to do together. But it's got to be once your skin is getting its basic needs, and so once we're on that great skincare line, then you can start to tweak. Then you know once your skin's getting what it needs, you can tweak the product for what the actual issue is. But if it's not getting the basic needs, then we don't know why you're breaking out. It could be because you're not cleansing enough, or because your pores are congested. So yeah, I love that about our lines. And my daughters are kind of starting to do that too, even at 9 and 10. So yeah.
I love that. And I love that, I find that a lot of people coming into this part of their life, they're still treating their skin like they're 20. And they're like, well, I'm just using makeup wipes and CeraVe moisturizer.
Oh,
Like they're sort of doing something, but they're not doing what their skin requires at this moment. Like they still haven't made that pivot, which I think is normal. But like, here's the sign. It's time to find exactly what Cherie just said, which is a good cohesive skincare program. So perfect. Amen.
yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. So I do have one tip that I don't know if everybody knows this about the nourishing oil, but Heather, have you heard of gua sha? I'm sure you have. Gua sha.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, goodness. Okay, so there is this
I didn't.
massage technique for your face that's called gua sha. And so basically you can do it, and I do it with my Skinvigorate brush with the massage head. Now some consultants may not be able to get their hands on that anymore, but you do it with the nourishing oil. So our nourishing oil, I think, Mary Kay does not say that the nourishing oil is anti-aging, but it is absolutely anti-aging. I think it's one of our most versatile products, and so I started doing something called gua sha with the nourishing oil, and it's made such a huge difference for my face. So I can't demo it for you guys, but you can use the massage head. You can go look at it on TikTok, use the massage brush, or you can use these little gua sha stones. They come in like all these little shapes and sizes. So what you do is at the end of the night, once all of your skincare is on, you go ahead and you put that nourishing oil in. I know some of you are mixing in the nourishing oil with your moisturizer, but you put the moisturizer on all over, and then you do your gua sha massage, and basically you're taking your stone and you're just pulling up. Y'all can go watch videos on it. This isn't what I want to tell y'all. I want to give you a boost to gua sha, okay? So you do your gua sha, you pull up, you go up, you go up. It's amazing. You have to use the nourishing oil when you do it because you don't want it tugging your skin. But for those of you who have deep lines and wrinkles, what you do is you take your gua sha stone, or if you have your Skinvigorate brush with the massage head on it, if you have deep lines here and here and here and up here, you're going to take like the corner of your stone or the corner or the little nodule on the massage head, and you literally like iron it out like for 10 seconds here. And then for these, what you do is you do the same thing, but you take your tongue and you pop the line out before you do it. So you go like this, and you put the oil and you like massage those lines out, and you do them here. And then if you have this line, you do them here. It has made such a huge difference for my face and for those deep lines and wrinkles. So get yourself the nourishing oil. You have to do it with the nourishing oil, and the massage brush works really well because it has those vibrations, but the gua sha stones work good too. I keep the gua sha stones in my tub actually. So I wanted to give you guys that tip if you're struggling with deep lines and wrinkles. The other thing that I do for deep lines and wrinkles, I know we have the deep wrinkle filler, but I actually use the hydrogel eye patches for that. And so I don't just put the hydrogel eye patches under my eyes. I put them where my deep lines are prone, probably it depends on how much time I have in the morning, but probably 2 or 3 times a week. And so that work, the hydrogel eye patches work really well for those deep lines too. So just wanted to give those of you who are struggling with that those quick tips because they make a big difference.
That's awesome. Do you know every single person has talked about the hydrogel eye patches, but for different reasons through this. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that is really cool that I mean, talk about a product that will do anything you need it to, just like nourishing oil, which I amen. That stuff is literally start here and put it to your toes because there's not a part of your body that doesn't need that nourishing oil. I put it in my Time Wise toning body lotion.
That's what I was gonna say. I was about to tell you. I mix it all together. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because in parties you get a little crepey in this area, your knees, and
Mhm.
mm, mm,
You know what else
okay,
I started doing? I started mixing the toning lotion and the retinol and the nourishing oil all together. All it's all over, Heather. So
do you do
now
it at night?
listen, I do it at night, yeah. And so that's just me because I've lost some weight, so I'm trying to like tone up all my skin. So I started adding retinol to my toning lotion. It's made a big difference. Yeah,
Totally doing that tonight. Got it.
yeah,
Done.
yeah.
Hook, line, and
Right.
sinker. Because the body, like, it's so interesting. Like, I have taken care of my skin for the 20 years I've been in Mary Kay. I didn't before that, but 20 years I have given it, fighting. Like, I'm in. But my body, I still am a tan freak. I still have a pool. I still am outside every weekend. So there's some issues.
Well, can we have a conversation about the sun? Because I
Yes,
think the sun is really good for you, right?
I
It's
agree.
amazing for you. And people, um, I want to know your take on it. I know that I'm supposed to be teaching, but people talk about not going in the sun because it prematurely ages your skin. So how do you balance that? Because I love the sun and I feel like it's so good for you to be in the sun. But how are you balancing that?
I 100% agree. I think everything in moderation. I'm not a moderate sort of person, but I understand. You have to have the vitamin D from the sun. I believe that like it's a life force. Like for me, not being outside in the sun would just be like not breathing. Like it just doesn't compute to me. So I'm crazy psycho about this. And then everything else absorbs all the sun. So I'm hats. That mineral sunscreen is a life changer for my oily skin, just a life changer. Um, so I'm very diligent about that, but I let the sun come to other parts of my body.
So do I. Yes, so do I. I didn't know if you were putting sunscreen all over
I do
and
not.
then do it.
I
You
I
were,
know
yeah.
all my and everybody out there is probably like, I can't believe she said that. Well, I value a tan body and I enjoy that. So yeah, that's gonna I even at 46, I'm like, I just don't know as if I could give that up. So
Yeah, I will never not go in the sun either. I'm very fair skinned though, so I cannot get the beautiful like Miss Hawaiian tropic look that you can, but I love going out in the sun and I mean I can feel it healing my body, you know. So
the
I
best.
didn't know if I was just wondering your take on it.
Yeah. No,
So
I'm a sun girl. I don't know how you
yeah.
could not. I don't think being inside is any is good for you. And then you're getting aging from your blue light, from your computer, from your phone. It's not like being inside is going to be less,
That's a
aging for
good
you.
point. That is a good point.
So I'd rather get old outside than behind my desk.
Well, you look amazing. You look amazing. I was just wondering your take on the sun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So any more skincare tips before you transition to makeup?
Okay, I do. I know we only have a few minutes. I do. I have two more tips. Okay, listen. When this new eye cream came out for from the Miracle Set, this one, I was using the Repair Eye Cream and love the Repair Eye Cream. The both eye creams are really good, but when this one came out, I was like, I'm gonna stop using everything that I'm using and just use the new Miracle Set and just use the new eye cream so I could speak from a place of integrity to my customers. So I started using this eye cream we got the buzz kit on Thursday. On Sunday, I was getting ready to go to church and putting on my eye makeup. And I always use my phone to put on my eye makeup because for some reason, I can just tell when my eye makeup's even if I'm looking in my phone. If I look in the mirror, it looks even, and then I take a picture and it's really uneven. So I always do my eye makeup on my phone. And when I put my phone up, I thought there was a filter on my eye because my eye looked so amazing. And I was like, wait a second, what is happening here? Because I love the Voluform eye cream so much as well. So I went on a deep dive into both of the eye creams because I'm like, well, I don't know which one to tell my customers to use now because I love both of them. So I actually use this one in the morning, and then I use the Voluform cream, the Voluform eye cream at night. And the reason why is because the Voluform eye cream, the difference is Voluform eye cream, they basically do the same things, except the Voluform eye cream lifts. I'm not willing to give up the lifting, right? So the Voluform eye cream lifts. This one helps more with the texture of your eyelid than it does the Voluform eye cream. So if you are if you're at a place where you can use both of them, I would use both of them. If you have to pick one, then you need to pick what's more important to you, texture or lifting. But just wanted to give the Mary Kay girls that little tip. Use this one in the morning. This one will help with texture and everything else, and the Voluform eye cream at night will help out.
That's really good because I'm deeply seeing texture issues. I've always had a hooded eye and things like that, but the texture of my skin has rapidly oh my gosh, whoa, okay, hold on. I did not know that about that eye cream. I have a list of products I need to go pull for myself. This is going to be very fun.
Amazing. And the other thing I started doing, I hope I don't get in trouble with Mary Kay for saying this, but I started mixing what do they say? This is not with a little disclaimer before I say this. Whatever.
This is not a Mary Kay sanctioned.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So I also started mixing a little bit of the retinol in with my eye cream too, like a very little bit, a very, very little bit, because my eyes had started to get a little droopy. And so just a little bit, and you got to test that for yourself if your eye area is sensitive. I started doing that as well. I'm like putting retinol all over. And
I'm gonna get a whole nother tube and start bathing in it, I think. I mean, that stuff is amazing. So
yeah, so try it because if your eye area is sensitive, it might not be the best for you, but it's worked really well for me.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. Okay. That's my I was gonna talk about the biocellulose mask too. So I'm not gonna take a lot of time. Just if use the biocellulose mask, the juice that's left over in it, save it in there, put that on your face every night. Whenever you run out of the juice, it's time to do another mask. So I could go into more detail about it, but be sure you're using the biocellulose mask too. Okay, that's all I have for skincare tips.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So you want to talk some glamour?
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. So I wish I could check the chat to see if there have any questions about this.
Let me check while you do that.
Okay, so one thing that I don't have a lot of pet peeves when it comes to women when I'm looking at other women's makeup, but one of my pet peeves right now for women who are, I think probably over the age of 30 is for your lip liner, taking your lip liner all the way to the corner is probably not going to work well for those of us who want to look a little bit more youthful. I'm not saying it's wrong to want to look our age. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to look our age. But if you want to look a little bit more youthful, don't bring your lip liner all the way to the corner, because if you do, our faces, this part of our face is starting to drop a little bit. So whenever you bring your lip line all the way to the corner, it accentuates that. So so that is something that I would stop doing. Don't bring your lip line all the way to the corner. The other thing that you want to do is, I think an issue that we have as we're getting older is we're putting on a lot of hydrating stuff, and that's really good for your skin. But when you add makeup on top of that, sometimes it can make your face a little shiny, and it accentuates those deep lines in your face. So what I have been doing is right after I put on my moisturizer, I let it sit for a little while, and then I always use beauty blotters. These are, I think they're like $8. Use the beauty blotters. They're little sheets of linen, and I take it and I blot off all the extra moisture, especially if I use the nourishing oil that morning, because your skin has absorbed, I think in a minute, has absorbed all the moisture that it needs. So you want to get all that extra moisture off so that we do want to look hydrated, but that dewy look on more mature skin, it reflects these lines a little bit more. So use the beauty blotters, and I actually, depending on what foundation you're using, you may want to use the beauty blotters in between your primer and your foundation as well. If your skin feels really, really moist when you're putting your makeup on, basically just use those beauty blotters so that those lines aren't accentuated. And then the other tip I wanted to give you guys for that is to use the translucent powder. I use, oh boy, where did it go? I don't know where it went. Oh, here it is. I use these little things, and I use these little things off of Amazon. You get a bunch of them with the translucent powder. And I take it, once I have my makeup done, I take it and I press that translucent powder. I don't put translucent powder all over. I just press it into where my deep lines are, right here and up here, so that it mattes that out. It has a mattifying finish, and there's no shine here. That way it won't accentuate those deep lines. I'll also, of course, put translucent powder under my eyes, but these deep lines right here, if you're looking for a way to kind of iron them out, you can do it visually with that translucent powder, and it'll matte those lines out. So, no lip liner to the corners. Use the beauty blotters to blot all the excess moisture off your face, and then translucent powder here. And then, those of you who are highlighting and bronzing, I think I'm actually going to show you guys this. I think what a lot of us have been taught to do is to go like this, like suck your lips in, put your bronzer where your cheekbone is, and then put your cheek color on top of that, and then put your highlighter on top of that. That's like what most people are taught to do. And then depending on the shape of your face, you want to put other highlighting on it, right? So what actually is better for those of us as our face starts to fall a little bit right here, you want to have a visual, you want to lift that up visually. So I take my bronzer, I use, depending on, so I use Fake Bake. I know you like the scent. I use Fake Bake. So depending on how dark my tan is, it depends on what color bronzer I'm using. So I'm gonna use.
I have to sunless tan during the winter. Because I still gotta stay the same color. I can't not.
Yeah. So for my cool tone, girl, are you cool or warm tone?
I'm cool.
You cool. And so there's a great self tanner. I know we're talking Mary Kay, but there's a great self tanner. I can't remember the name of it now. I'm gonna send you the picture of it, but it's for cool tone girls because I'm cool tone, and so I would use like other color Fake Bake, and then it would throw off my whole coloring. So anyways, those of you who want to know a good cool tone self tanner, I'll fill you in on it. So the bronzer, instead of putting it like when I suck in, it normally would go here. You put it like right above that, and I can't see myself. Hang on. Let me see here. Okay, there we go. So you put it right above it instead. And I mean, can you see how it like just that right there lifts that side of my face so much. So you put it above where you would normally put it. Let me just do that side. And then the thing is, you don't want to pull your bronzer past the middle of your eye whenever you're our age, because it will pull, it will bring definition to that side, and it will pull that side of your face down. So you just want to don't do it past the pupil of your eye. And then you put your cheek color above that. So you basically just lift wherever we used to put it above that hollow of your face, and then cheek color above that, and then highlighter above that. And it will just really lift this part of our faces. Most people would tell you put cheek color here. Um, well, depending on your face shape and depending on how detailed you are at glamour. Most people will tell you suck in, put your bronzer here, put your cheek color here back, and then highlighter on top of that. So I put mine a little bit further back, and it just, I mean, this side of my face looks so much higher compared to I have nothing over here. So I do that, and then I put highlighter on top of that. But I don't have time to do all that. So that's that, okay? And the other thing is your eyeliner. I think a lot of women are taught for eye shape. We don't have time to go into a detailed glamour for eyes, but for typically you're taught, oh, put your midtone in your crease, highlighter here, highlighter above the brow, and then do your V here. So that is very outdated for those of us who are if you're like 30, you could probably get away with it. But for those of us who need to lift, that is not going to lift your eye. So the first thing that I do is I put my mid-tone on. I put it on all over. I do put my highlighter in the middle. And then my accent color I use to smoke out my liner. So I do it a little bit different. And then we're taught to put eyeliner all over. So what I started doing is taking my eyeliner, I don't know if y'all can see, but taking my eyeliner and making it go from the inside of my corner up instead of thickening my lash line with it, which is what most women do. I'm taking it and pulling it up here. Oh boy, I messed up. If you messed up, it's not a big deal. And then here, I'm not doing a thick line. I'm doing it almost like on my wet line and like under my lashes.
Oh, that under lash trick is fantastic.
And then once you get like to the middle of your pupil, then you come up on top of your lashes and you can make it a little bit thicker and it just lifts that eye so much. So I do that on both sides. It doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, I would clean this up a little bit, but because of time, I don't have time to. But it makes that look, that liner trick makes your eye look so much lifted, especially when you have the bronzer and the cheek color. I mean, this side of my face looks so much higher just with those two things. So those were the tips that I wanted to give them for glamour. Of course, get with your consultant. I'm sure she can give you a lot more, but those are the biggest ones.
I totally agree. Eye area is always a concern, I think, with everybody. But I think where some people forget or haven't just paid attention to is it's the sagging of the volume. Like it's this that starts to kind of, I always say my face is melting down. It kind of feels like that, but those tricks to keep your cheekbones optically higher are everything. So this right here, this part of your face, pay so much attention to. It's not just the eyes that are about the aging. It's the cheekbones starting to sink down. It's those jowls starting to kick in. Those things, amen for saying it, because those were not things that you paid attention to before. And then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, something's different.
Right.
That's the something different. And also about the translucent powder. I remember the first time I used translucent powder, and I think I used it on somebody. I don't think it was on me, but I put it on and I turned around to get something else, and I turned back around and saw her face, and I was like, wait, that didn't do what powder is supposed to do. Powder is supposed to make you look powdery and matte and all the things. Translucent powder is like a filter. Like it just, whoop.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so to press it in there, ooh.
Yeah, it's got these light reflecting particles in it that make the skin beautiful, but it mats out for some reason, whenever it gets in those deep lines, it really looks like, take a picture, then put it in and take another picture, and you will see, if y'all are doubting us, you will see exactly what we're talking about. It completely gets rid of it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, girl, I could talk to you forever. We do have to say goodbye, but thank you for these tips. These were so brilliant. I have to go to my closet with my Mary Kay stuff is right there. So I'm going to go shopping in there and get a couple of these things to make just those little tweaks can make such a big difference. But let me take you all the way back to the beginning. skincare. If a skincare that is consistent. So you have to, I think I always say that in order to be consistent, you have to make it simple and you have to make it fun. Get a fun, simple, consistent routine because that right there, cohesive. You have to start there and then you can add all the tricks. Don't just take the tricks and forget about the skincare set at the beginning. That is the most important. And what I also learned is put retinol in everything. And I'm going to put retinol in
Everything.
everything. Everything.
Everything.
Everything. I'm
Everything.
gonna be like, can you mix your latte contour with retinol? I don't know. Let's try it. Like I'm gonna be all about that. So thank you for your
Yeah.
time. I'm so grateful. I know everybody is blowing up. I can't see all of it, but I will go back and I tagged you in there. So if people have some questions, you can respond to them on
Sure.
on that feed. But thank you guys all for watching. We've got 50s and 60s tomorrow. So I'm gonna be taking lots of notes. Gonna be like, okay, when I get there, I'm gonna be doing this. So you have to come over in 10 years, you'll be ready for it.
I'll be
So
there with
thank
you
you
guys.
guys
We'll
for
see
your
you tomorrow.
time.
I'll be watching. Yeah. Thanks for having us. All right.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.